Hello everybody and welcome to another live stream edition. Today I'm starting slightly later than usual, but I just want to let you know, if you're new here, live streams happen roughly every Friday or every other Friday, and it's around between 2 and 4 p.m. Eastern time. And basically I'll showcase new things, try new foundations, talk about different kind of things related to beauty, and sometimes go through scientific explanations of products. But mostly why I'm doing this is because of the possibility to interact directly with you guys, which for me is much more interesting and rewarding than just recording a video by myself and then just editing it and uploading. So in this way, if you're available, you can get to ask questions directly or demonstrations directly, and you don't really have to go through the process of emailing or sending a message and then waiting for the answer to come back. So anyways, for today's live edition, because I know Kat Von D has released a lot of new things. She has released new concealers, new brushes, and a new setting powder, as well as repackaged foundations. She will release, I think, 14 new shades of the foundation during the fall time, but for summertime, those are the items that were new. I was not able to get my hands on the white concealer, neither on the next shade up, which is an extra light shade, because in my Sephora they were already they didn't receive the stock because it's out of stock apparently online. But I was able to get, oh hello Muff, by the way, if you're new here, Muffy is my canary bird and he's free to roam around, so he might pop by in the video. Before anyone asks, everything here I purchased it on my own. I'm not a sponsored YouTuber by any means, nor I get things for free or anything like that. Anyways, I purchased the setting powder because when I tried it, I found it quite interesting. So we're going to try that one out. And I do happen to have a sample of the Kat Von D, this is not the one. But anyways, I have a sample of the Lock-It Tattoo foundation in shade 42. So I thought that I would do a demo on that because I know a lot of people now are getting interested in Kat Von D. So I thought, why not doing that? I also purchased one eyeshadow of hers because, hello, it's copper color and I adore copper. By the way, I might appear darker on the camera because my blinds are down because we are getting really intense sunlight. I'll be also using another of her eyeshadows, which I've talked in the past. This is Thunderstruck. This I use as a highlighter. It's absolutely gorgeous as a highlighter. And what else? I do have one of her colored liners, so I'll be trying that. I have one of her eye primers. But let me grab her foundation because it's somewhere in here. I must have, yeah, here. I actually have it here. So this is, look a little bit too pale, but it's not really too pale in like outside the camera. Like the camera somehow picks me as being very red or pink. When I'm looking at myself, it doesn't look like in the camera, so whatever. Anyways, we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna be talking about the fake Nars that I got. I know that's so stupid of me, but I wanted, for a while, I was on the fence of whether I wanted to get the All Day Luminous, because the color Siberia, although it's very, very pale, it's not as pale as I would like it to be, and it's very yellow, but I love the coverage. That's something that I was in love with. So I was on the fence of where I'm gonna get it, where I won't get it. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna check on eBay, because there's a lot of people who are putting up their, half-used products or whatnot. And I don't necessarily need a brand new or a full one. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just check if there is someone who's parting ways with theirs and I don't really have to buy the full one. Anyways, I got scammed into a fake one, and I'm gonna talk about it in a moment. But first, let's start with the foundation. In this case, I'm gonna start with the foundation first because this one is very, very, very thick. So as you can see, yeah, I know I've tried those, and I don't personally like using the lighteners because it reduces the quality of the actual pigment from the NARS. So I'm someone who, if I can avoid using the whiteners, I'll do so because I just personally don't like the result. Anyways, this is the Kat Von D, is quite thick. And let's see, I'm gonna use my usual brush. I mix foundations not that often, but what I'll do, hello, what I'll do, I'll mix, there is one that I like a combination that I really, really like mixing. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation with the Makeup Forever Ultra HD. I like mixing those two, but besides that, I don't really tend to mix foundations. I will mix sometimes highlighters into the foundation or pure pigment drops into the foundation, but I'm personally not that fond, especially if I like the formula of the foundation. If there is a foundation that I hate the formula, then I'll try, you know, playing around with it. But otherwise, I don't tend to do that because it alters the original formula. Therefore, either the coverage or the finish or the lasting power will be affected, which then, I mean, kind of defeats the point of buying a very expensive foundation at the end. So I do hope that, well, Kat Von D released those white pigment concealers, which can be actually mixed into the foundation to lighten it within her foundations, because they have similar formulas and they're meant to be intermixable or whatnot. So anyways, I'm gonna try with that one. With this one, I need to take this, and as I was saying, I'm gonna do the eyebrows last because it has pretty heavy coverage and it sets quite fast, so I have to work really quick, and it might go into my eyebrows. Therefore, I'm not interested in doing that today. Her foundation brushes also looked really, really neat. I was quite fond of them, but so you can see, I mean, this foundation is just, I like it for the coverage because it has pretty good coverage. Now, it can tend to be cakey. Yeah, it suits me now in the summer because I'm a little bit tanned. I get a little bit darker, like on my neck when it's summertime. Yeah, I tend to go, I mean, you can see my arms are horribly pale. I tend to go with the Beauty Blender on top of this one from Kat Von D because otherwise it will sit on top of the skin, which I don't like personally. And I find that this foundation really needs more work than other foundations in order to avoid that cakey finish. But the coverage, that's something that's really, really good. It has high coverage, and it's not only for, you know, very dry skin. Like, for example, the Cover FX Full Coverage Cream Foundation, that one, sorry, I'm reading at the same time the comments. That one tends to be better for drier skin types. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know. On my end, I'm not seeing any kind of problem, so I'm gonna do a, you know, a proper swatch on my arm after I'm done with this. Oh, that's weird. Is now any better? Okay, so it might be a problem on, okay, I don't know. So there you go, that's the foundation. Of course, you need to add much more when you want to cover, like for example, the acne. So I tend to go only with the Beauty Blender in the areas where there is really like high coverage is required. You don't want this degree of coverage like in areas that you don't really need it, because it will tend to cake a little bit. That's why I reserve this technique only for where I have the actual acne. Now I want to show you, of course, the bump, you know, like the actual bump you cannot get rid of. So that's why if you only have redness, it will cover it. But if you have the bump, it won't be able to cover it. There are things that you can use in order to cover textural irregularities. But I mean, I wouldn't bother doing that unless you have, you know, severe scars or something like that. And now comes the fun part, because I can't see anything. Whoops. I'm not really sure what I'm doing, so I'm trying to do my best here. By the way, if you have severely oily skin with this foundation, I would recommend priming beforehand, because it will react to the oil. Of course, it's waterproof, but not oil soluble. Sorry, it's oil soluble, not. So, yeah, I would recommend priming the skin. I've never tried her primer that she recommends for this foundation, so I cannot say whether that one is any good for oily skin or whatnot. But so there it is. It can also tend to sit on the pores, and if you have any dryness, it will show it. That's the kind of foundation that this is. And I want to show you up close what it looks like, because from far away it might look completely fine, but there, I mean, you can see here, it can tend to gather to dry spots, or, you know, I don't really have particularly dry skin, but some dehydration. And this is acne. Although it has superb coverage, you would still need to use a concealer if you have like a lot of acne. If you have, like I said, redness, this will probably take care of that. But if you have a lot of acne, then yeah, I would definitely suggest either going on top with the powder foundation, which will add more coverage, or going on top with the actual concealer, which has even more pigmentation. So, but this is a pretty good coverage for a foundation. So yeah, also it can tend to gather in the, you know, crevices or on the smile lines, or if you're using it under your eyes, in, you know, if you have fine lines, it will gather there. So that's something you should keep in mind if you tend to suffer from those things, if you have those things. So yeah. Are there any questions? I know some people are having issues with the live stream. One second, I'm gonna change the... Can you see me any better right now? Is it freezing? I'm not sure. I don't know what else to do. I'm sorry. I cannot really... Did it freeze now? Was it better before, or is it cleared out now? So maybe I should change, because I have two Wi-Fis that I'm using, so that's why I don't really know which one I should use. If before was better, then I'm gonna switch it to that one. Okay. I've switched back to the other. Has it cleared? Can you see me well now, or is there still a problem? Well, probably the lightest foundation that I own has to be white foundations. Those are the lightest. But after that one, I would say from Cover FX N0, the cream from Cover FX N0, Makeup Forever Ultra HD in Y205. I'm thinking. I have one from Ilamasqua. It's the Skin Base. I'm thinking Ilamasqua has quite pale ones, but they're like white with pink undertone, and they tend to look clownish, unfortunately. I don't remember on top of my head right now, because I've tried over, I want to say 400 foundations. So that's what I'm remembering now, but I have written down somewhere all of those that I've tried, so. Sorry, I'm just like the The Powder Fake N0 is the lightest, that's not clownish looking, that's, you know, has some skin tone tint to it, because then you go to the theatrical white, or, you know, there is like vampire shades and things like that, but those look very artificial, like it looks not for daily use. So for daily use, those two that Luna Dia has mentioned are the ones that I would say. By the way, I'm just quickly doing my eyebrows, sorry. Or as quick as possible. Huh. The new Ultra HD in 205, because that one is lighter than, or slightly lighter than the Kat Von D. Dainty Doll I've had is, yeah, Powder Fake N0 is a touch lighter. Dainty Doll I've had, it wasn't that light. It had strong pink undertones in their lightest shades. Okay, so I'm gonna try out the, I think I'm gonna try out the Kat Von D powder now, so that I'm gonna set this and see how it works. So this is what the packaging looks like. It's pretty nice, I would say. It has the initials on top, and it's translucent. It has 19 grams or 0.67 ounce of product in there, which is quite a lot for a powder, and well, traditional sifter, nothing special. Well, then I would say you should go and have a try at the Powder Fake N0, because that one is quite neutral in terms of, like, Kat Von D is not neutral, it tends to go to pink. So they are pretty neutral. They don't have like really strong yellow or really strong pink undertones. I have to say that the powder is quite nice. Like, I'm not, usually I have problems with powders, but this one is rather nice. I'm trying to Makeup Forever markets that Y205 as having yellow undertones. That's why it has that Y beforehand. Therefore, yeah, I have that one. It's quite dark, in my opinion. It pulls a lot of pink, at least on my skin type. It's slightly darker on me than the Kat Von D. So as first impression, this powder is very, very nice. Like, it has pulled together the foundation. It has almost added like a layer. Has almost like a blurring effect, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's quite surprising, because this foundation can look a little bit cakey and set on the pores, but this somehow made it a little bit more even on the pores. Like, it sort of blended the foundation into the skin. I don't know how to explain it, but it's quite nice. Like, I can see why this is marketed to be used with her foundation. So yeah, if I would say that if you have troubles sorry, I don't understand what you refer to. Yeah, so I would say that this almost slightly corrects the color. Like it, I don't really want to say that it changes the color entirely, but it has a more yellowish undertone to it. Let's see if I can show you there. And it almost has like a small, I mean, it's imperceptible by the camera, but it has a slight glow. Oh, okay. I didn't know who you were. That's why I was like, I'm not really sure. I don't know what that individual is trying to tell me. Yes, the Laura Mercier translucent powder unfortunately darkens a little bit the foundations. I don't know why that happens. I've had it in the past and it did like add some, it dulls the foundation. And I think because although the pigment is tested as being translucent, it's not translucent under white. So you can put it on white paper and you'll see that it has a color. Therefore, I would recommend using either an almost white setting powder or an off-white setting powder. This one has a slight yellow tint, but it has been tested to use with the shade 42, so they work well together. It doesn't darken it at all, or at least I can't perceive any darkening happening. Another good one is from Cover FX. I really like their illuminating setting powder. Their mattifying setting powders tend to darken, so anything that's more mattifying, there is a risk that it will darken it a little bit more because it reacts with the oil. Therefore, well, the how do you say? The reflection of the light changes. Therefore, it won't look as pale. Well, I'll make a video on that some other day. Anyways, that aside, I'm gonna open the blinds a little bit more because now it's starting to darken. Yeah, the Nars crystal is actually, it doesn't darken at all. Like it's pretty good if you have problems with powders darkening your foundation. It's a white powder, so that one will not darken. I found that with pale skins, the best thing that works is to stick with powders that will add a glow, because usually that brightens the skin. And everything that's very mattifying, it will just make it look slightly darker unless you're using pure white. So yeah. Here you can see I'm trying to come up close. So I think that overall the powder with the foundation do work very well. I mean, it looks even better now that the light is coming through. Like it doesn't make it like a flat matte. It actually improves the foundation. It makes it look more alive, like less chalky, because I have a problem with that Kat Von D 42, that it tends to look very dull and chalky on my skin, but with the powder is actually quite good, so I'm happy about that. Next thing that I'm going to be using is the, her color correcting eyeshadow primer in Fair, because I want to try out the eyeshadow powders. Is there anything that you guys would like to see? This is quite good at, oh yeah, sorry, I almost forgot the swatch. I don't have that lipstick. I really don't own much NYX because I've got bad reactions from that product, from that brand before. So here is the foundation. There you can see, let's see. There. It has an almost, it's quite pink on my skin, so it's ending up being noticeable, but like the camera is picking up like my skin is dark for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah. So there it is. Yeah, I can swatch it by. Let's see. I don't have the cream, unfortunately. The Cover FX. I only have the oil-free version, which is a little bit different from the cream compact version. Sorry. As you can see, this has slightly more neutral undertones than this one. At least I'm seeing it under light. I mean, this camera isn't really a high quality camera, so it's the one that I have on my laptop. So, but yeah. There you can see this is the Kat Von D. It has a quite strong pink peachy undertone, and this one compared to it is slightly more neutral. And this one is the Makeup Forever So here we have the Makeup Forever one. Whoops, there. This one on my skin, it always looks chalky. It reflects chalky for some reason because I have very strong blue undertones. So they're like so different. But yeah, so you have the Kat Von D 42, the Cover FX Oil-Free Foundation in N0, and the Makeup Forever Ultra HD in Y205. So there's those. I mean, when I'm looking at here, the daylight, the Kat Von D is darker than the two others. Yeah. Well, not, I mean, in the camera, it picks it up very different. That's the problem. I don't know, it must be some ingredient that's in her foundation that makes the light reflection. But at least when I'm looking at it as swatched on my skin, it looks darker than my skin tone, and it's slightly darker than the Cover FX. Oh yeah, yeah. It often looks like that. That's why I thought that because I had the 44 and the 44 is just insanely dark, and I was afraid of, you know, getting the 42. Yeah, it's the undertone. I think that's why. For me, pink undertones tend to look very chalky when there's like a lot of light. If that makes sense. I don't know. I'm just rambling. Yeah, that's also, it oxidizes. That's the problem too. I hope she will release, but I mean, I wouldn't have really that much high hopes because the 42 is supposed to be neutral, and it's in no way or shape neutral. It's more of a pinkish, slightly peach, like cool peach undertone. So I don't know, maybe she's gonna release a warmer toned 42. I don't know. We'll see. So anyways, I'm gonna try out this eyeshadow, which I'm quite excited about, but I don't know if I can find a brush. Yeah, I found a brush. Wee brush. Here. Oh my goodness. That brush. No. No, 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 no. Well. The Powder Fake Cream foundation, the one in the compact, does not oxidize. I've tried every single possible way and it doesn't oxidize. The oil-free oxidizes, so it will be slightly darker than the in the cream pot. So anyways, I'm gonna be trying out her eyeshadow in Dose. Let's see. I really love the pigmentation of her stuff, so hopefully it holds up. Oh yeah, I mean, look at that. Just one swipe. Wow. I'm a sucker for good, well-pigmented eyeshadows that actually don't have fallout and blend. It's quite pigmented, that one. So there you go. I actually think this eyeshadow is really, 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 really gorgeous. Like her, what are they called actually? Her Metal Crush eyeshadows are extremely good. If you like, you know, pigmented, colorful eyeshadows, that is. She doesn't really have any neutral ones. It reminds me a lot of the old times MAC pigments, like from 10 years ago. They used to be like really good quality, really, 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 really pigmented. And reminds me a little bit of that. And she has like super gorgeous green ones also. You know, not just emerald green, but she has like a lime green. Like it looks very 80s, which by the way, I love 80s. So I hope she releases like a neon pink or something like that. So that's that. It's like a really, really beautiful copper, like a true copper. It's not a bronzy color that has more yellow. This has really a lot of orange in it. Next, I'm going to try Thunderstruck. I'm going to try blending it and seeing if I can make like a cool shade or something. There you go. Oh yeah, like the emerald green shadows that she has. She really has beautiful colors, must say. Like totally unusual ones. I've tried the Serpentina palette, but I don't wear gemstone colors. The only colors that I actually liked from that palette was one that was a black brown with gold glitter, and the other one was like a pure red, like blood milk. If she would release those shades as singles, then yeah, but I wasn't fond of the gemstone color. But if you like gemstone colors, then you will definitely love those shadows because they're like comparable quality to these ones. I wouldn't say exactly like these ones, but so there you go. I mean, I can't seem to find a good balance of light. Like either it's blinding or it's too dark and it alters all the colors. Yes, like the Egypt inspired one. Next I'm gonna use the Kat Von D Lightning Lighter in Ludwig, which I've already used in the past. Oops. Okay. So it's pure orange. But this one you really have to be careful with the application. Turn it on. So, because if you click so many times, because with the first click nothing comes out, so you have to click several times. But if you click too many times, then you have a big glob of product coming out. So you have to really go like by step. So there it is. The loose pigment was really, really good in that palette, but I personally don't like that shade. Like probably if she would have released like this kind of shade in it, I would be totally for it. But it was like a old gold with green undertones. So if you like that one, then definitely, yeah, like it was just like a little bit and the whole swatch was covered. So I think if you like gemstone colors, you will definitely love that palette because it was very good quality and like really good amount for the price that you're paying. Oh my gosh, is this ever working? Sorry, I'm checking. Okay. Yeah, no, it's working. I'm checking the messages. When I don't have my glasses, I have to really come up close. Okay, so this is a liner, nothing special, just like bright color. I love her liners because she has a lot of different colors. I'm not fond of the black one, honestly. I have a mini black one here. It's the tattoo liner. I'm gonna use just a little bit for the purpose of this video, but I'm not exactly very fond of it. Because it's very, very hard to remove. Like I had to go through even pure oil, like it took a while to remove it, and that just irritates my eyes too much. So the only reason why I'll use it is maybe to line slightly close to the lash line. Let's see. Actually, the orange in that palette, you meant in the Serpentina palette, it's quite, it's actually red. It's really like a rusty red matte color. So I'm gonna just finish with primer. Hopefully this isn't a boring phase. So as I was saying last week, I really love this primer because it curls the lashes. I don't know how it does that, but it just, as you can see, this one, they're going straight down. This one, they're going up. I really don't know what kind of black magic this is, but it really curls them. So that's the only reason why I use this, because I don't like lash curlers. They don't do much on my lashes, not as much as this thing. So and it also helps color mascaras to look brighter. So here I'm using like a dusty rose color. And I'm going to show you in a moment what it looks like. There you go. Not sure if you can tell. There, maybe. I don't remember that palette, mainly because, well, I've never, seen doo-wop in person, because, well, I was living in Europe, so we didn't really get doo-wop there, at least not that I know of. At least in Spain and Finland, we didn't get doo-wop, so I've never been much into doo-wop, and here, for some reason, it doesn't seem to be anymore that popular. I think it's only online and maybe some shops. I don't know, I've never seen it in person. But I remember they had really cool, like the few things that I've seen online, they were really cool items. Oh, no, actually, what am I saying? I have a lip plumper from doo-wop, so that's about the only product that I ever tried from them. I'll have to check it out when I'm closing the blinds. Now it's getting too bright. Whoa. So, what else could I show? Oh, I forgot to show this. I got the Bite Beauty Kale lipstick. Should I try it or shouldn't I try it? Is anyone interested in weird, strange lip colors? Because this is actually green. So if someone is interested in seeing that, I'm trying it for you on camera. I'm going to contour. Yes, it's Givenchy. They usually, French brands like Dior, Givenchy, and Yves Saint Laurent, YSL, they tend to release bright colored mascaras often. So this one, it's hard with this camera, but this one is like a dusty, it's like a black dusty rose. So it's called Rose. So that's the color that it is. They tend to release quite often. So now YSL has those crazy colored vinyl mascaras. So yeah, this is the Surat and the color is Grisaille. Let me show you. There. So I won't be doing really a lot of contouring. It just adds a little bit of shape because this foundation removes a lot of the shadows on the face. Yes, I love blue mascaras. You know, like those 80s blues that they're like really bright blue, electric blue. I really love that. It's just awesome colors. I remember when I was a kid, my mom used to have these Dior eyeshadow duo. So there was like a brown and a really bright gold, and she would use that gold on her lid and then use those really 80s bright blue mascaras, and I was like always in awe, you know. And then she would use like a coral lip and a lot of, you know, powder bronzer or something like that. So yeah, I tend to like that look. For blush, I think I'm gonna be using, yes, that's true, it makes them look really whiter. I'm gonna be using NARS glue. I found that this is actually a very, very nice shade if you're very pale. Like, it looks very much like your own flush, you know, it doesn't look too artificial. Oh, and haven't used concealer. I'm gonna do that at the end, if I do that. There's that. And then I'm gonna be using a little bit of the Becca Luminous blush in Camellia. This on its own, if you are using like Kat Von D 42 on its own, it will look a little bit too out there. So that's why I use it only as a, you know, blush topper. So not on its own, and always with some kind of very, very fluffy brush, because it's very pigmented. So you can end up, you know, with a really stripy, dark, almost like it looks like you're having some kind of allergic reaction in your skin. For highlighter, I'm going to be using this, sorry, I'm trying to find the highlighter brush. Where is it? Oh, really? Really? You're disappearing now? Well, it has disappeared. So I'm going to be using the Bobbi Brown highlighting powder in Pink Glow. So I'm going to grab the white areas. And I'm going to be using this middle color to add where the blush is, because the white color might actually remove the intensity of the blush. So there is the, I mean, with this sunshine, it's hard to show anything. Let's see if now you can see there. So yeah, this is a quite nice highlighter if you're very pale, because you can have, you know, highlighter, which is white, and then you can have like a blush color or a, you know, highlighter to put on top of your blush, so that your blush doesn't end up being washed out with the whitish color. So that's that. I'm gonna be using the lipstick. I don't have any lip liner like green, so I have to think. Wait a second, I'm gonna grab something. I'm grabbing this one, which is from Etude House, and it's the Play 101 pencil. So nothing special, just a creamy color, because I want to cancel out a little bit the redness so that the green can appear more crisper. Is anybody having any questions? So I'm letting this one dry because it's actually slightly waterproof. So let's see, where is my lip brush? I don't want to mess this one. Here. After this, I'm going to be talking about that NARS, fake NARS that I got, which I'm not very thrilled to be talking about, but I hope that this will help others. It's Pink Glow. There you go. The brand of the eyelash primer is Tarte. Wow, this is really pigmented. So the reason why I'm using the lip brush is that so I have more control over the initial application. But after that, I go with the bullet itself. So here's the green one. It looks almost like neon green, like neon black green, if that makes sense. Let's see if I can, there. I think it actually makes the skin look like more flawless, like there are no pimples or anything. Like before the lipstick, it looked like there was more attention here, at least in my perception. You can probably overline with this lipstick very easily because it's so dark. I have actually slightly gone under my own lip line, but I really like this color. I think it's totally worth it. Like, Bite Beauty is releasing such beautiful odd colors. Yes, they're Canadian, and I like it. I don't mind if you're biased. You have to say it. It's a Canadian brand, very good brand. And they have also one that's like a blue undertone, and I believe they have one that's like more of a purple undertone. Now I want them all. I just think that it's such a cool color. It's, I don't know, I find, well, black is nice, but black can tend to look very gothic. But this color just, I don't know, explain it. It's a dark color, very odd color, but it's also very elegant in the same time. I don't know if that makes sense. So yeah, anyways, hopefully you have learned something from this little look here. Hopefully this has been anyhow interesting, because now we're gonna go with something a little bit more sad. I mean sad for myself, because I fell for it. I know better, but I fell for it. Well, I couldn't have known, but still. So let me put them in the box first. So grab some popcorns, get relaxed, because this part is more entertainment. They look identical. I mean, from first glance, you know? Which one is real, which one is fake? I received this one. So let me back off. As I said in the beginning, I was interested in buying the NARS All Day foundation in Siberia, but it's a little bit dark and the undertone is very strong for me. It's a very yellow undertone, although it says that it's neutral. On me, it just looks plain yellow. But I loved the formula of this foundation. I love the, not the cakiness, but the coverage, because I tend to have acne, so I like something that's lightweight and will really cover. So this one really does offer beautiful coverage. But I was on the fence because $50, it's roughly $50. After taxes, I think it's a little bit over $50. So I was like, meh, I don't know. Let me check on eBay whether someone is parting ways with their foundation, or, you know, they have received an extra for their birthday, which they got the wrong shade or whatever. I've purchased in the past from eBay. I mean, I'm a big eBay user, or I used to be very big on eBay. So I saw this one. It was like very good price. Like, okay, someone's selling it for the price. Well, I don't know, maybe they got the wrong color or something. And it was like really adamant, this is authentic, brand new in box, really everything sort of checked out. They had 95% good ratings, but I usually like don't check if it's 95%. Like, it starts to up my red flag if it's 90 or below. So for me, it was fine. It was a noob selling there, so I was like, well, maybe they had 95 because they, you know, they didn't ship in time or whatever. If you're a newbie in eBay, whatever, I don't know. I was stupid. I should have checked first why she had 95 and not 100. That was first clue. Always check all of the reviews, like all of the feedback that the seller has got. Anyways, that person was like really serious that this was on sale. This was, this was original, and she had to get rid of it. You know, everything has to go, whatnot. And she had like pictures, and it looked original. So I was like, this looks original. Someone is selling from the US. Okay, I'm buying it. That person sold it, like shipped it very fast. I was like, okay, well, you know, like gave me tracking code. It was, everything was fine. So then I'm receiving it, and first thing I've noticed when I opened, it was very well wrapped. That was like really, really good service. But what I noticed is that the packaging, I felt, I was like, I didn't remember NARS having such a glossy packaging. I'm not sure if you can tell on the camera. Look, this one is glossy. NARS uses matte packaging. No matter what product, they're always having black matte. That's their trademark. This one has, as you can see, it's very glossy. And I was like, I don't remember it being glossy, but whatever. Maybe I've just forgotten, or I don't know, I didn't really pay attention or whatnot. Then the second thing, I was like, Okay, I didn't remember NARS having a sticker on top of their products, like their foundations, because NARS actually has it printed with a code, but this one had a sticker. So I was like, okay, maybe once again, I'm being a little bit paranoid, whatever. I was checking the text. Everything looks, it checked out. It didn't have anything strange. It had like the code. It even has like, in case you're wondering, these are manufacturing dates. So with this, you can actually track the product if it's its own number and not a copied, which I'm going to get to that in a moment. Then I opened it, and that's where it got even more strange, because it's like, this looks, it feels strange. I don't remember this feeling, how to say, this smooth. Like, there was something weird about how it felt. And I'm a foundation crazy. Like, every time I go to Sephora, I have to touch everything. I have to check everything, even if I have checked it before. It's just how I'm wired. So I felt like, okay, this looks weird. Then I opened it, and well, it was leaked. But I was like, okay, I'm not thinking much about it, because maybe there was, pressure or whatever. It's no big deal. But then I saw the shade, and I was like, I don't remember NARS Siberia being pink, like, and this dark. I mean, this doesn't ring a bell. So I went to Sephora. Oh, and another thing, sorry. I didn't recall this foundation in particular being sheer. Like, I know that this foundation is known for being very, very full coverage and very cakey. So I was like, that sounds strange. So I was like, I want to shake it, but there is nothing to shake. It's almost like cream consistency. So okay, I'm going to Sephora and I'm going to double check. So I go to Sephora and I'm swatching the original. I'm like, it just doesn't look anything like it. It doesn't. So then I'm emailing the seller. I'm like, okay, maybe this seller doesn't really know that they got scammed themselves. So I like, hey, listen, I sent her a really big email. I told her that I went to Sephora. I went to double check before, saying that, hey, you sold me a fake product. And I have had this foundation in the past. I know what it looks like. I know what it feels like. I know what it smells like. And on top of that, it's a new foundation. Like, it was released January from last year. I think in some countries got it in March. So, I mean, it's very new. There are no batches made like from 5 years ago or something like that. It's a new foundation. Therefore, this really didn't ring a bell. Like, they didn't reformulate it. I can understand if it was a reformulated foundation, then okay, it's might be different from the new one. But it hasn't been reformulated because it's new. So I sent her all the email. I told her all the details, how they differ. And the reply that was sent to me was like, those girls at Sephora know nothing. I sent you an original one. If you want, I can give you $5 back, but I can't have it back because you've tested it. Like, she won't make me a refund because I've already tested it. And I was like, listen, how am I supposed to know that this one is for sure fake if I don't test it? Like, there is no other way besides putting it on my hand to compare it to the original one. Like, okay, maybe I'm off on the packaging, but I'm not off on the actual product. She wouldn't answer me that, and I told her that I don't want the $5. Like, why would you give me $5 if you stand by your product? If you're sure that it's an original one, you don't need to buy me or buy my feedback with $5. So I was like, I can't accept this. I'm a makeup artist. I know what I'm talking about. I have reviewed hundreds of foundations. My thing are foundations, and I can spot when something isn't original. And she told me, well, you can't be reasoned with, so, and also, like, everybody are makeup artists nowadays, so you can't be reasoned with, so this is over. And she put a claim on eBay saying that I was asking for a refund when I had used the product. so that eBay wouldn't actually check the conversation that I'm actually talking about a counterfeit product and not that it's used. Like, I can understand that you don't want to accept the return of a product that has been already used, but this is a different story. We're talking about a counterfeit item. Like, we aren't talking about me trying this and not liking it. Like, I don't know what's inside here. Like, have you checked those? Like, they have done tests in counterfeit makeup that they contain arsenic and even worse poisons in there. Like, people have literally had eyesight problems because they've put a mascara that wasn't original and they had components in there that are forbidden to be used. So that's why it takes me off. Like, it has nothing to do with me not liking the product. It has to do that this is a safety issue. I have no idea what's in here, because from NARS, it's guaranteed that what's in here is the ingredients list. And if it's not on the ingredients list, then they can have a really, really big lawsuit. Because if I happen to have a reaction to something, then I can, you know, check back to the ingredients list and check and get it tested. And yeah, that's what you're allergic to. But in this case, what's in this list, it's not what is actually in here. So this is a very big safety issue. Anyways, eBay ruled on her side because the argument was that I'm trying to return a used product, and the seller has in their policy that they aren't accepting used products returns. Anyways, let me show you in a better detail. So first thing, this says read the insert like the original one, but it comes without an insert. So this is what you should be getting in an original one. You should be getting an actual, you know, booklet or spreadsheet or whatever. Now, can you see the difference? Let's see. Let me put it like this. There. So this is the fake one. This is the original one that I purchased at Sephora. So you can see the bottle is already different size and the NARS text is already different. Now in the back, the bottle actually sinks inwards, whereas the NARS one doesn't really sink inwards. It's just flat. Next, we have the text. This one has a very uneven printer, so I am assuming it's a very cheap printer that they have used for this. And here they have a very smooth and even text. I'm not sure if you can see that. On the bottom, this one is the fake, this one is the real. So you can see the fake one has this ribbed texture, whereas the real one has almost like a molten crystal type of texture going on. These, well, as you can see, they're quite different, but I don't want to judge on this one alone. So that's why I didn't include this, because I don't know if those can vary or not, but I do know that the bottle hasn't been varying because it has been the same how do you say, countertop. So let me swatch it, because I'm not going to use this on my face, but I'm going to do a swatch on my hand. So first thing you'll notice with this, they say it in both shake. This one, you have to shake it, the original one, because it's almost a serum consistency. So it's very fluid. There is like, if you let it sit for long enough, it will separate the actual liquid from the pigment. So that's why they say shake well. This one, it's just a cream. Like, this is a cream. It's a thick cream. So let's put the fake one first. You can see it's like a cream that stays there. Also, another thing, NARS is fragrance free. This one has a very, very strong scent, which was the first thing I was like, that's weird, because I don't remember this foundation smelling like anything. So this is the fake one. And now I'm trying the actual NARS. Look, the actual NARS is runny. It's like liquidish. I mean, it's not even a good copy. This is like sheer, you know, like when you're blending it. This one, when you're blending it, the pigment stays there. I'm not sure if you can tell the difference. But look. Like they are like so different. Whoops. Oh my gosh, now we're having a bit of, yeah, there. So they are just very different. And I'm like, how can you even say that it's a original when it's like obviously a fake one? Like you just have to go to an Ulta, whatnot, or what's called Sephora and get like a sample or try it on your arm or whatever. You're gonna see that it's a fake one. You don't whatever. So yeah, that's how you spot a fake one the hard way. Like now I had to buy this one and then I had to buy the actual original one because I was so freaking pissed. And I'm gonna try and send those pictures to NARS and to eBay, but I don't know if they're gonna do anything. I don't know. I'm afraid for the safety issue, because if someone is, you know, like I have a friend of mine who is allergic to a specific component, and that specific component is missing on many foundations. Like they don't have that, so she's using those foundations. So I'm afraid what would happen if she would buy a counterfeit, or she would be given a counterfeit and then she would use that. She would like get a massive allergy reaction and either die. So that's why for me it's very, very serious situation. Let's see. So yeah, like this one, it's like tacky, sticky. This one is smooth. Like they're just two completely different products. And you know, at first I thought that, okay, maybe I'm crazy and this is the actual size, but like they're just so different. Like so frigging different. Like there is nothing alike. Even the quantity, like there's probably less amount in this thing than there is in this one. Like you can probably weigh them and they're like completely different. So I don't know why they put so much effort into fakes. I mean, it does make money, but I don't think that you're gonna become rich with those things. Like, yeah, I think that buyers need to be protected. Like I said, I understand if it was, you know, some kind of error on my part or something. Like, yeah, I know, I have sold at eBay. I know that you wouldn't want to, you know, someone buying something even though you have described it and then they're like, I don't like it, I'm gonna return it, although I've tried it. So you can't really put it back for sale. But in this case, we're talking like a counterfeit item. Like it's a crime to make counterfeit products. So I don't understand why eBay was like so easily siding on her side, like not even looking at the conversation, because I started like a return item claim sort of thing. So explaining the whole thing. So there was the whole conversation that eBay could check, but apparently eBay didn't even bother to check because they made the decision 30 seconds later after she, you know, put the claim, because she was saying that I'm unreasonable and there is nothing else that she can do with me, you know, because I wouldn't take the $5 that she was trying to give me to silence me or something. So yeah, like, and honestly, it just comes off as stupid because she was selling this for $20, which the price itself isn't indicative if it's something fake, because it has happened to me in the past that I bought a Urban Decay Naked one palette when it was years ago and I didn't have access to a counter or anything, and I paid like even more than the price and it ended up being a fake. But in this case, like, why would you want to give me $5 back so it ends up being $15 for a NARS All Day Luminous in Siberia? Like those sell like hotcakes on eBay, you know, like you can sell them full price or even more than full price, because people from other countries are desperate to get pale shades, so they will pay the price. So anyways, I checked her reviews, and there was another one saying that that NARS was a fake one. Then she had two couple from that she sold something from Lime Crime that they said that it was fake. So from 20 reviews, she had 3 that were saying that are fake. So I don't know if she's using a technique like selling 30% fake and 70%, no, sorry, 30% real and 70% fake, because in that way you can sort of hide your fake ones, because you will get a lot of positive reviews saying that your stuff is original, and then you're sending those fake ones and many people can't tell the difference, so they will leave you positive. But at the end of the day, those that actually get the fake one and know that it's fake, it will be like the minimal that will report her. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know why eBay sided right away with her. It almost makes it look like eBay's promoting counterfeit items, because I think the moment someone is like, hey, complain, like your item is fake, eBay should be right away behind that person. Like I said on my correspondence that I can prove it with pictures. I'm gonna get the real one and I'm gonna snap some pictures if you want to see it. You know, if the seller was, you know, very honest and they got sold a wrong batch, then like she would have been interested in seeing those pictures, because it would be in her own best interest to know that they're fake. But probably she knows that they're fake and she's like running some kind of business to get more money. I don't know. 1 second, I'm gonna grab the charger because it's gonna, 1 second. But yeah, I've had also in the past when I was selling, like if something got broken or something, I had to give a refund, or at least a partial refund if it was, you know, on my fault because it wasn't packaged properly or whatnot. So I think this is just very, at least for me, very disappointing that eBay let those things slide. I was looking through like comments and in the forums about people that got scammed with makeup, and apparently like eBay is asking you for some kind of certificate, like of authenticity. Like who is going to give you those certificates? Like I can understand if you're talking about Louboutin shoes, there are services that, you know, authenticate originals of very, very expensive products, or like, you know, luxury products. But of makeup, like who's going to do that? So, and still like makeup is way more of a safety issue than a handbag. So I don't know. Yeah, I really wanted to make this and like show side by side, because there are like really convincing copies on eBay. So one thing that I can say, honestly, buy from a original, like from an authorized retailer, or from someone that you know that doesn't sell fakes, or usually someone that sells used makeup, they don't tend to sell fakes. Like I've never had any problems. But if you see someone, you know, already having complaints on their account that they're having fakes, I wouldn't take the risk. And especially with cosmetics, it's, I don't know, a little bit dangerous. And yeah, so that was my little story. Really upsetting story for me. I'm really pissed off, but there isn't really much I can do about it except, you know, inform people about the risks of that and the fact that you're not really going to get the product that you want. Therefore, you won't get anywhere near of the quality that you could get if you invest in a good product. You know, like companies like NARS and most big companies go through like rigorous allergy testing and dermatological testing, ophthalmological testing in order to get the product approved to be sold on the market. So therefore, they're putting a lot of money into that. Whereas the fake ones, they're just doing in a dumpster. You don't know where they're putting that concoction. And in many cases, the raw product comes from China. Therefore, you have absolutely no idea what's in there. Like, there could be an infection, there could be some kind of fungus, or even worse, a poison. So that's just my little public service announcement, if you wish. Anyways, are there any questions from you guys? Do you want to know anything? I think the foundation is cracking a little bit here. Well, maybe not that much. I'm just being paranoid. Just want to show you. Let's see. Anyway. Another thing, I filmed the video for the Becca foundation, the lightest shade, which they released online only, and of the Hourglass stick foundation, which I still dislike, but I made a proper review with my actual camera. So I'm going to edit those and hopefully they'll be up next week. And I'm also going to do a review on the new Sunday Riley products, which, by the way, I'm going to show it to you now. Wait a second. If you have acne prone skin like me, and you have tried literally everything like me, I've had long history of that. I've had acne already for almost 2 decades. Long story. So Sunday Riley has come out with an awesome packaging. I mean, Martian. Like, when I saw that, I was like, I don't care what you are, I'm buying you. I don't know what you are, but you're coming home with me. And then I was like, oh, it's for oily acne prone skin. That's actually cool, because I was at Sephora checking for something like an oil for my face, which I'm coming to in a moment. And apparently this was new. So there is a Martian, and it's actually coming in a pump. So this is, I don't want to say it's exactly a toner, because it can be used on its own under a foundation if you have severely oily skin. This will control the oiliness. It also, apparently all the makeup artists at Sephora were really liking this as under foundation. But then this UFO oil, like UFO, like that was, I'm like, oh, again, I don't care what you are, you're coming home with me because of your name. Like UFO and Martian, that just calls straight up to me. Then I realized for oily to acne prone skin, I was like, and then I opened it, it's a green oil. Oh my goodness, it's a green oil. It's like legitimately deep green oil. Of course, when you apply it on your face, it just doesn't end up being green, but it doesn't have any artificial dyes or artificial fragrances or anything like that. So this has salicylic acid in oil, and then it has, let me start reading the list, milk thistle seed oil, black cumin seed oil, cucumber oil, disopropyl sebacate, which I think it's a oil something, I don't know, pomegranate seed oil, cranberry seed oil, flaxseed oil, hexyl resorcinol, which is actually a antioxidant to lighten the hyperpigmentation. So this actually works for acne, for oil control, for hydration, antioxidant, and lightens hyperpigmentation from the acne. It has licorice root extract, apricot kernel oil, chamomile flower oil, neroli oil, tea tree leaf oil, sunflower seed oil, rosemary leaf extract, grapefruit seed oil, another, I can't pronounce it, but it's a leaf extract, amino esters, eggplant fruit extract, henna extract, and more extract, and turmeric root extract, basil extract, jojoba extract. It's amazing. Like, I've had one oil before from Sandy Riley, but it was too clogging for me, unfortunately. It was like really heavy, and it was one of her first oils like some years ago. So I never went back to her oils because, well, I like oils, but I wasn't really fond of her oils. So when I saw this, I was like, hey, I need you. I need you. Now I'm going to show you. I'm going to do a proper review of this one, but I mean, look at this. Look at this. It's like a green oil. It smells very potent. So if you're sensitive to scent, this will be potent. It's a dry oil, so that means it really absorbs well. I like how it smells. It smells very herby. So if you like herbal scents, you will love this. Now, it has a salicylic acid like 1.5%. It's not really that strong. Like, I don't tolerate salicylic acid normally that well, but 1.5%, it's not, at least on my skin, there hasn't been any sensitivity or irritation or anything like that. It has some oils in there to counteract the effects of the salicylic acid, so it will sort of calm down your skin. So here it says this fast-acting, quick-drying medicated oil clears acne and blackhead causing buildup and debris from congested pores for smoother, blemish-free skin. Tea tree oil and black cumin seed oil support clear skin, while hexyl resorcinol and licorice naturally brighten the appearance of old acne discoloration for a visibly more even-toned complexion. Then counterbalancing the potentially drying effects of salicylic acid, milk thistle and cucumber seed oil nourish the skin and smooth the appearance of lines and wrinkles without leaving a greasy residue. Chamomile and neroli oil soothe stressed, blemish-prone skin. And this can be mixed in your foundation. It actually says here to mix 3 to 4 drops of UFO into foundation before application to give hydrating, acne-fighting power to your makeup. So I don't think there has ever been a product that has been more made into something that condenses my own essence. So it's like green. It has all the ingredients that I actually been using before, but separately, and all the functions that I wanted to have. And it's like, it's cool. Like, you can just say, yeah, I'm using, what oil are you using? I'm using UFO oil. Like how cool, how it can't get any more nerdy than this, like nerdy skincare. So anyways, there you got it. I actually got the lipstick for the review, so I'm gonna do some UFO themed video to review these two things. Now, after the cool excitement, like, I didn't know if this would work. I was just so over the top for this product. After the cool excitement, I started using this, and it actually does work. So exactly, Ancient Aliens program approves. So yeah, I've been using these. I'm trying to think, 5 to 6 days. Like, I've had really bad inflamed acne. Like, it was painful, and I have, benzoyl peroxide, I have antibiotics, I have retin-A, very strong. I also use like calming serums and whatnot, and it was still like just throbbing there. Granted, it's PMS, but still, it was just painful, and I was desperate because, well, I don't want to go on another Accutane cycle. Like, I can't justify myself going through that again. Like, a 5th cycle, no, I don't want. So I was like, okay, Accutane, I'm going to try something else still. So far, this is working very, 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 very well. Like, really, I'm amazed at how well these two are working. And The thing is that it's not making my skin peel, it's not dehydrating my skin, and my skin is not overly producing oil. Like, it's really calmed down so that I don't need to touch up my makeup that often, and I don't feel like I have a oily, slick texture on my skin. So definitely I would recommend checking on that. Even if you have like occasional acne, or you only have oily skin, or you have very irritated skin, well, I wouldn't go. If you have very dry skin, I wouldn't suggest this one. They have actually for drier skins, but I'm happy about this. I just want to say that it's very cool, it's very nerdy, it's horribly expensive. I'm not gonna lie, it's horribly expensive, but if you have persistent acne that's just painful and you're gonna just try anything. So I hope this mini review was anyhow helpful or entertaining, and I think that's all I have to show for today. Let's see, does this one have? This one doesn't have limonene, it doesn't have, and it doesn't have lavender oil either. So if you're sensitive to those, this doesn't have it. Anyways, I think, does anyone have any questions? If you do, let me know, because it's about to finish my live stream. Yeah, I'm a good enabler, that's for sure. I'm an enabler to myself as well. Like, I can talk myself into wanting everything, and then, like, you know, my little chatter here is like, you know, it's super cool, it's super amazing, you need it. I'm like, no, I mean, look at the credit card bill. Yeah, but you need it. And it's giving me all these ideas, like, why I need it. So I'm sorry if I'm like enabling you. I know what it feels like because I'm doing that to myself. Muffy, he's actually napping. Wait a sec, I'm gonna grab him. Muff. Muff? Muff? Actually, he's not. Muff? Come here. Come here. Wait a second. Come here. Come here, sweetie pie. Come. Muff. Come here, sweetie pie. Come, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute and I'm letting you be. Okay. He's like, no. You don't want to come? Come, please. I think it's a lipstick. He's not fond of my lips. You want to come? No? Okay. I'm sorry. He's like, no, I'm not coming. You woke me up from my nap. I'm not coming. Anyway, so you want to come? I'm still trying. I never give up. Come. I'm not trying anymore, Mom. So anyways, he's actually there. I mean, there, like, see? He just hid. You don't want to come? You sure? Tutti? Tutti? You want to come? No. He doesn't want to come. So, unfortunately, this is what. Hey, come. No. Yeah, I know. I dislike using whiteners. I don't like using whiteners. Honestly, I just want to just put the foundation on my face and that's it. Maybe if I'm feeling extra fancy, I'll use a whitener or something in the foundation, but usually I tend to be more like lazy type, so. But yeah, anyways, I think we're coming to an end for this live stream, and I'll be back next week with more stuff. I don't know yet what I'll do for next week. If you have suggestions, as always, either drop me an email or let me know in the comments, or you can private message me. I try to read those. So yeah, anyways, I hope this was entertaining, and thank you very much for all of you for joining today, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye. Bye bye.